Sparkplug Motorsports presents the A1GP World Cup of Motorsport. Today, race 5, the Malaysian Grand Prix, presented to you by FCR 2025. Here are the results from the German Grand Prix, where Falstad took the fastest lap on his way to victory, getting past B-Dragon Sonic 1 lap away from home. That season moved up to third in the standings, while B-Dragon Sonic maintained his 20-point lead in front of Revo. And had the two men behind him scored a point in the first two rounds, they would be a lot closer. Here are the team standings, where Team Nigeria leads by almost a race win in front of Team Italy. Norway now moving up the standings, up in fourth. But to return to Kuala Lumpur, here is your track. It's always amazing to return to this facility. Built in 1997, Formula 1 stopped racing here in 2017. But in the ERL, we've always seen amazing moments. It's a lot of elevation change despite its 15 corners. Two long attack mode points coming back to back at the start and end of the lap. But just like that, we're ready to go racing for the Malaysian Grand Prix.
Up the volume to 11 on it.
And here is your starting grid for today's race. Ocampo back on pole from U-Cable and teammate Sparks YT15. England seemingly finding their pace again. Remy LeBeau starts fourth from Oinkro Ezra and Oscar Falstad. There is points leader B-Dragon Sonic down in seventh from Guillermo Perez and Francis Austin. Then it's Hun Lam Phi starts 10th from Babnas Senior and Yua Puff in 12th position. Revo, man second in points, is down in 13th from Nicholas Palomino, who finished fourth last time out, and Daph Sanchez. Then it's Lam Fong, Oqui, Daniel Baltasar in 18th. Then Matthew Hart down in 19th from the Red Devil in the back row of Jensen Olsen and Babnas Jr. Well, this race marks the halfway point of the ERL A1GP World Cup of Motorsport. Ocampo is on pole. All 5 lights go on. And we go green in Malaysia. And what a start from U-Cable off the line. Despite his starting on the mediums, he's already alongside Ocampo as they barrel down into turn 1. He's already ahead of the Philippine driver. U-Cable takes the lead as Oinkro Ezra gets a 5-second time penalty. All elbows out racing in the mid-pack, and in fact throughout the pack. There goes Ocampo back up into the race lead as they head down into turn number 4. The Philippine driver still in with a shot of the title if he can just have a brilliant second half of the season, as his teammate gets a 5-second time penalty further back. Heading through the second sector, and U-Cable does not have an answer for his fellow double champion. B-Dragon Sonic's been given a 5-second time penalty as well. That's massive for the title. Despite his lead being 20 points, every point we know will matter. And we've got yellows. What has happened in the mid-pack? Babnas Jr. has hit the wall. Front wing damage for the man driving for Team Romania. From the back of the pack, that is going to send him even further down. But out in front, Sebastian Ocampo has done everything he needed to do to hold on to the race lead. They make their way through turn 15 to end their first lap of this race. Coming across the line, Remy LeBeau has moved up into second position. That's a great move from the season 25 champion, but U-Cable thinks better of it and just gets past him once again on the straight. It's a very long duo of straights where you can set up a move into 15, but your opponent can set up a move into turn 1. So it very much provides battles as Hun Lam Phi gets 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. We've now got a bit of a block of drivers with time penalties. Here's Sparks YT15, the man who won the first race, and unfortunately for him, his title run has not continued into round 5, seemingly. And you can say the same for his team. Ocampo, though, leads the way, coming through the chicane. Not even a chicane, the double right-hander. And it's claimed many races in the ERL before, because just look at how close the drivers get. There is nothing in it. They have to get so close to the wall just for every inch of time, and for all the grip that they have in these ERL 02 cars, which used in Formula E, modified in Champ Car, and brought over to the A1GP World Series. And Ocampo still out in front. That gap he's got, 2.2 seconds. This is what we've been seeing quite often throughout the A1GP. In the early stages of the races, the race leader can build up a gap of about 2 seconds, but pulling away any further than that doesn't seem possible. Sparks has the fastest lap in second position, so he's been moving up the order. Hunlam Thi is coming to the pits, and B-Dragon Sonic now has a 10-second time penalty, both of which coming by ways of a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. This is a very scruffy race for the points leader. He's going to have to keep his nose a lot cleaner than that, because his pit stop is going to take eons. 15 seconds worth of time penalties for the points leader. Can you believe that? Fastest second sector goes to... Oh! Race leader Sebastian Ocampo has just wrecked, and we welcome the return of the full course yellow. Well, you didn't expect to see that. As the Red Devil sets the fastest second sector time, the track goes full course yellow as the race leader has wrecked. But that puts Sparks YT15, the winner of the first A1GP race, into the lead with his teammate right behind him, the man who was started on pole for the first race in the A1GP World Series and really needs to get back on track. We go green again. I've just dropped my microphone, but U-Cable is ready to go side by side, heading down into turn 15. Picked up the mic again. Side by side they remain. I think they both might have attack mode. And U-Cable, with the outside line, shockingly enough, has now gotten the lead. But I believe Sparks is coming into the pits, so didn't want to fight that one too much. And yes, Sparks comes down into pit row. Hunlam Thi stays out, but Remy LeBeau comes in. When B-Dragon Sonic comes in, it's going to be the longest pit stop in ERL history. Here we go. 15-second wait for the man who leads the point standings. Look at the legion of cars coming into the pits. He's going to re-emerge at the very back of the pack. He's got a mountain to climb if he wants to see 1 point, let alone 25 for the win, which he only has 1 of despite leading with points. Here he is, coming out of the pits at the very back of the pack. Meanwhile, U-Cable leads the way, going through the double run and is out of the race. That was a big shunt for the 2-time Formula E champion. And it is day over for another driver down there. Low grip, it seems, when the tyres wear down quite a bit. It's only lap 4, and we're seeing this to that extent. We've got 10 laps to go from Malaysia. Nicholas Palomino. Now he runs in 7th. He came into the A1GP World Cup of Motorsport hoping for a championship as we get back to green flag running. And oh! Spoke too soon. The Red Devil also out of this race. And another full course caution called while Falstad is leading. Oscar Falstad, last time out race winner, didn't finish in Japan, and honestly might be wishing that he did at this point. These really scruffy opening races for Team Norway might be costing Falstad a real title challenge, because he's found his pace again. He's found that mojo that he's lacked for quite some time. I'd argue since season 19 of Formula E, he's lacked that mojo. And again, not seemingly having any future in the ERL past this. We're back under the green flags as Waincrow Ezra, the lead Team Nigeria car with a 5-second time penalty, comes into the pits with the race leaders in Falstad and Hunlam Thi. Of course, serving that 5-second time penalty. Falstad comes in. Puff's also into the pits. One of the Team Spain cars came in, so Sparks leads on the hard tyres. Not for too much longer. There goes Remy LeBeau. The Season 25 champion makes his name known as there goes Francis Austin up onto the podium. Been a while since we've seen that name up there. And look at this. Vietnam versus the Netherlands versus Scotland with Hart, Qui, and Hun Lam Thi. And now as they make their way through the second sector up front, Remy LeBeau has checked out of that fight for the lead and thankfully has not hit the wall. Unlike the 3 drivers out of this race, Austin getting real up close and personal. Maybe he just wants to see the SBM logo or something. And Lam Phong running a good race. I keep saying this about both Team Vietnam drivers. Keep saying this about both of them. They run great races for the most part. Their strategy seemingly works. The points just haven't materialized for the title to be a real challenge for them. Here's B-Dragon Sonic in 15th position as his teammate sets the fastest second sector. B-Dragon Sonic is down in 15th. That is how bad a 15-second time penalty can hit a driver. We've seen drivers come back from 5 seconds before in Formula E, 10 seconds in Champ Car. 15 seconds is unheard of, and 20 seconds, well, that's the record for the most amount of time for a time penalty, but that was never served. As Oinkro Ezra sets the fastest third sector side by side between Remy LeBeau and Sparks YT15. Oinkro with the track limits warning, but Remy moves up into the lead again. Sparks on the back of him, looking for an opportunity to reclaim the race lead with 8 to go. Into the wall they both go! Yellow's come out, and it's Babinus Senior who's out of this race with a powertrain problem. The race leaders are still in it, but with unbelievable damage for the front 2 after hitting that wall. We're under the cautions here in Malaysia. And Remy LeBeau has picked the perfect time to lead this race. The man behind him's got a 5-second time penalty as well. Don't know when that happened for Sparks, but he's got a time penalty. That is sincerely bad news as we're back under the green flags. And Sparks did not get the jump he needed. Remy's going to be clean heading into the pits. That's going to be perfect news for Team France. On board we go with the man who started his career at Kiro Race Co. Looked to almost have the opportunity to be a champion in his first season. Just couldn't hold on to it long enough as he comes into the pits, and we've got some grey clouds here in Malaysia. You know, this race has been chaotic enough at half race distance now. You know what would add to the chaos? Not Falstad and Austin squabbling as the former teammates that they are. No, some good old-fashioned and unpredictable weather. And in this jungle climate, that is what you get sometimes. Nicholas Palomino with a third and final track limits warning, one more, and that's a 5-second time penalty for the Spaniard. The Season 4 IndyCar champion runs in 7th so far on lap 7, but Oscar Falstad leads the way as the Season 18 Formula E champion makes his way through the double right and gets close to the wall and is into the wall with front wing damage. Yellow flags flew. Hun Lam Thi comes through and hits the wall. Big bump jump and is out of this race. It's always that front tire seemingly popping off. And I think we understand the reason for all of these retirements. It's twofold. First of all, of course, you've got extreme tire wear going into 2 corners where you need extreme amounts of grip to even just stay on the track, let alone avoid the walls, which is so close to you as well. And then also, when they hit the wall, sometimes they're fine, other times not so much. It's just because with all of that friction, the actual suspension arm and everything connecting the wheel to the car is being forced to its extremes. We're back under the green flags here in Malaysia and the clouds seemingly parting, somewhat at least. Think Austin's going to come in and Falstad also into the pits, so that puts Puff, the Season 24 Formula E champion, to the lead of this race. Sparks YC15 with a 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. This man has not found luck yet. I'm wondering if he'll ever find it again. His team gave him that awesome strategy back at his home race, but I doubt that we'll see a performance similar to that again from the man who won the World 500. But for you, Path, the man who also competed in the World 500, this is a pretty alright outing for him. On lap 8 of 14 and hits the wall, never mind. Track limits warning for the Scotsman. But he's still in this race, that's good news for him. Palomino leading this train in second, hits the wall and is out. There's my full course caution. We have had 6 retirements from this race. All of them separate full course yellows. None of them have been incidents with each other. They have not run into each other at all. It's effectively been mechanical issues. In a way. One of them quite literally. We always knew that we were going to get a wreck fest. This is the ERL after all, but my oh my, this is just poor. We're back under the green flags. You were Puff's front wing being absolutely damaged, meaning that he'll have to come into the pits, and honestly, I don't think there's any better time to do so in terms of their age. That will release Remy LeBeau up into the race lead with 5 laps to go. Everyone's got at least one more stop, at least for safety. Perez with a time penalty. Sparks is coming to the pits to serve that time penalty. Revo and Jensen Olsen, both into the pits. As Lam Thong going side by side with Oscar Falstad down into turn 1. That's B-Dragon Sonic, is it behind them? No, it's Oinkro. Ezra still quite shocked at how bad the Formula E Champions Day is so far. Carmel Perez runs up in second position, but Remy LeBeau, with a 14-second lead being wiped out as he is out of this race. Wow. Another one. No, if we keep crashing cars at this rate, at that corner, I'm going to be surprised if anyone finishes this race. Honestly, I'm going to be shocked if anyone finishes at this rate, because we have been losing cars at the same corner at a rate of 1.5 cars per lap. And it's lap 9. We're back under the green flags with 5 to go. And, you know, we've got 8 wide racing in the mid-pack as well. And, oh, you were buff in the wall! 5-second time penalty, decided to tangle with one of the Team Nigeria cars. And that's a bad time to have a wreck. Really bad time to have a wreck for the man who honestly should have a race win at this point, but just doesn't. Probably through lack of luck. Francis Austin leads the pack, and I think he might be coming in. Or is he? He's staying out. He's staying out. Okay. Lap 10 of 14. Oinkro Ezra comes in for Team Nigeria. His teammates staying out, though. So it's Francis Austin at the lead of the pack for Team Italy, as he makes his way through turn number 3, heading down to the short straight. And now through the sharp right-hander. This is honestly one of the best tracks to drive at. In terms of a racetrack, as B-Dragon Sonic gets another time penalty. It's one of the questionable ones as that's damage for Austin. Thankfully, he's not out. He's down in some downforce, but not out. Unlike Daf Sanchez, he is out of this race, and now neither Team Philippines cars will finish here in Malaysia. This is easily already the longest race that we've had. And you know, we had to truncate the opening to this broadcast because there were, in fact, some issues with the weather. It had rained overnight, and somehow, track was still damp, you know? So, of course, had to wait for it to dry up. Thankfully, we had quite a bit of time, and with the jet dryers in hand as we're back under the green flags, we were able to get back under green flag conditions and race, but As Falstad now takes the lead, something tells me there's probably still something on the track that's reducing grip. I think Twisted Toe would call that water. Into the pits then for Francis Austin. And you're not going to believe who's currently running in third right now. Yep, despite the 15-second time penalty, points leader B-Dragon Sonic has found his way back into the podium positions. This man is inevitable. Oscar Falstad, however, he was indomitable last time out. Easily the class of the field. He and Team Norway, at least with his car. Jensen Olsen definitely struggled, but who doesn't struggle as a rookie? He's got Bogdasarov for company, heading through the double right. Into the wall they both go. Spin for Bogdasarov. Both of them with damage as B-Dragon Sonic comes to the scene of the accident. Has to brake hard. A lot of weaving for Jensen Olsen. It's into the wall for Revo as well. 3 cars receiving damage at the same corner. My, oh my, that is bad. As the rest of the field makes their way through the double right, it just emphasizes that you need all the grip that you can get to make it around this racetrack. Sorry. Really struggling because of the time zone differences here. And despite that rear wing being open for B-Dragon Sonic, didn't look like he had the best acceleration, but top speed has been that Team Nigeria car's special suit all the time. This car was rapid down the straights in Yas Island and down the straight heading into 130R in Japan. That car was an absolute rocket ship as they now all file into the pits for what should be their final stop of this race. Seems like some scrubbed mediums going on for Sparks YT15 and for B-Dragon Sonic. Somehow, that Team Nigeria team, those guys have managed to find another set of mediums, another new set of mediums as well. They're not scrubs. They've probably used a lot of their scrub sets already. As Perez, absolutely hard done by Francis Austin. As Jensen Olsen, your race leader, is out. Was gonna mention how this was definitely the pick-me-up for Team Norway after he finished last and a lap down in Germany, but I don't know if this is worse. Would you rather finish last and a lap down, or would you rather retire from the race? Honestly, in a way, I would actually prefer to retire. Because when you're a lap down or so, at least you know that it's as bad as possible at that point, as we're back under the green flags. With a DNF, it's over. You can come back later, but the race isn't over. You're not in it anymore. When you're lapped down or so, you're still in that race. You are just another car to pass. You're not in the race for the win if you are lapped down. As here comes Babinus Jr. Where has he found this pace? Up in third position for the man with 1 ERL Series win to date. We're going to go on to the penultimate lap. Okui leads the way, not for much longer. Francis Austin up into the lead as Oinkro Ezra makes the pass for third at the same time. That's brilliant racing from both of them as Guillermo Perez duels with Inet Babinus Jr. over fourth position. Babinus Jr. going side by side with Ezra, and he's up onto the podium as well. Just take a look at those top 3 positions. What an unbelievably shaken up grid order, with the top 2 in the race, at least on the grid, both out after leading at some point. And we've got yellows. Austin in the wall. Kui just about avoids the other wall. Close to the wall for Ezra. Out of the race for Matthew Hart. Perez with damage. He hit the wall too. And on the penultimate lap, we got another full course yellow. I don't think we've had any completely green flag laps since lap 3. I think that's where it's been. Lap 3 was the last time, I believe, we had a completely green flag lap. We've had full course cautions for every other lap. We're down to 12 drivers still running here in Malaysia. This is currently, as we get back to the green flags, we are currently in the A1GP race where nobody wants to finish. That's what this race is going to go down in history as Babinus Jr. moves up into second. Prix for Team Netherlands. The man who's driven in every US ERL Series race begins the final lap at the head of the pack. And if he can win this, as Austin makes the lunge, despite his front wing being more banged up than an old door, he's still in the fight for this. Ezra, with that time penalty, makes his way through the opening corners. But puncture for Oinkro! Hits Volstad, went into the air, and we've got a pile up in the making for sure. As he's been hit by Baltasar, spin for Prix from the lead! Babinus Jr.'s in the wall! Prix's got a puncture as well! Francis Austin takes the lead! Unbelievable scenes on the final lap! And we've got the caution. It's Prix and Babinus Jr. The men who were running 1 and 2 at the start of this lap are out. Oinkro Ezra, who was 4th at the start of this lap, is out. B-Dragon Sonic somehow has come back from a 15-second time penalty and further 5-second time penalties to now be in the running for 5th. And if we get back under the green flags, he could go for the podium, actually. Perez has got a puncture. Unbelievable scenes. Bogdasarov's got so much damage. A podium is on the cards for the man who leads the point standings. We're back under the green flags. Perez is out for sure. Austin still struggling. But for Francis Austin, despite that front wing damage, he's going to come to the line as B-Dragon Sonic's going to get to the podium. Francis Austin takes victory in Malaysia. Volstad's going to be second on the line. B-Dragon Sonic is going to edge out a podium from out of nowhere like a magician. Sparks is 4th with the fastest lap. Hunlam Thi with a time penalty for causing a collision. And we're going to need to take a deep breath, boys. I have not seen a final lap filled to the brim with that much tyre issues since, I don't know, possibly the Ace Championships inaugural race in Tokyo. The Ace Championship for their second season becoming the FG Series. I have no words. Ezra's still going to walk away with this race with 1 podium. I'm sorry, 1 point, not a podium. He's still searching for that podium. He could have gotten it had Team Nigeria calculated correctly, but this is your podium. Francis Austin taking victory from Oscar Volstad and somehow B-Dragon Sonic, as here comes the Italian national anthem. Had you told me that coming here we would leave with all the finishers scoring points, I wouldn't have believed you, but here are your race results. Austin taking victory from Volstad and B-Dragon Sonic. Sparks taking the fastest lap from Revo, Baltasarov, Puff, Perez, Lamthong, and Oinkro Ezra. In the point standings, B-Dragon Sonic still leads the way. He increases his gap over Revo by 5 points. Volstad holds the fort in 3rd position with Sparks in 4th. Here is the team standings after this race. Team Nigeria still leads, but they're only 5 points up on Team Italy. This is the championship that you want to be taking a look at. And if you want chaos in the A1GP and thought that the prior 4 races were lacking, then this couldn't have disappointed. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time when the A1GP series returns for race 6.
I just wanna press a wine. I don't know what I would ever do. Don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on the dial. You say you want it in here like money on my mind. Anytime I think about you, I just wanna press a wine. I don't know what I would ever do. Don't like to think about, cause I'm turning up the volume to 11 on the dial.